It's the worst day of the week. It's Website Wednesday.
There's a
I will
long
say,
pause.
though,
Great day for me.
issues with video, right?
I felt I was in a 1950s romantic comedy.
Right?
For a while
I
there.
know.
Yeah,
I know.
we need to make another video where we all dance.
I want the third right answer.
Yeah,
The third right answer.
I'm waiting for
you
the
can't
third.
afford the third right answer.
Probably not.
Or the third right answer.
No,
we're not
bad
gonna
for
do that
everybody.
Uh,
yet. So I was like,
Just
on
saying.
the one hand, I will say, like, just old plain Helvetica on a black background is
Yeah.
just great for those kind of videos. It looks
I know.
fantastic. On the
It
flip
is
side,
highly
I would have
effective.
changed. There's a section there that says, "Don't write it that way just because everyone else does," and then the next slide says, "Make it shorter." Those were not meant to be like a two-parter. And I should probably go back in the archives and find that whole thing and cut it around so that they're not in that order, because it makes it sound like, write it shorter, but it's actually make it all shorter. Everything should be made shorter. All right, it's Website Wednesday, which means you guys or someone in the chat, doesn't matter to me, is going to throw me something, and then we're going to look at it. And I was thinking this morning, boy, we've done a lot of different things. We've done car washes,
Yeah.
funeral homes, lawyers. We did an email that a company,
Yeah.
marketing company sent out. Last week we did Etsy,
Mhm.
product description on Etsy for like flowers from weddings and funerals that are then put into resin and framed.
Yeah.
And I know there's something else that we've done.
My niece is on the way.
Oh, and
I like
marketing.
SAT
Twice
prep.
over, I think we've done marketing companies.
Somebody's excited here.
How about educational prep, like SATs and ACTs and stuff like that?
I
No?
mean, I don't have a choice in what you guys send me to.
Well, what do you think, John? What do you want? You want something else like MRI centers?
I've already been to enough MRI centers to last my lifetime. Lately. It's
Bookstores. That'd be
It's
interesting.
funny though that you should mention that, because that's what our friend Ed Winslow works in, is like with radiology centers and
Radiology. I like radiology.
and urgent care and that kind of stuff.
I've read a lot of X-rays and MRIs in my lifetime. So it'd be interesting to see if they have convenience and all the other things that go along with coaxing people to use your center versus Joe Schmo's center across town.
Hey, this one says it's world-class orthopedic surgery. So something world-class should look.
It should look pretty good.
Right?
It should look amazing.
Yeah. We should have you look at one of Ed's sometime, because Ed gets great results.
Yeah.
But
welcome to the what? It's the Stone Clinic.
I've never
Is it just for kidney stones or gallstones or what?
No, any kind of stones.
Are they specialized?
Welcome to the Stone Clinic. So they're orthopedics, I think, right?
Oh, their name is Stone.
World-class biologic and robotic surgery, regenerative injection therapy, and elite sports medicine.
Oh, okay. So it's not just removing calculi. Stones. Right. Okay, good.
Well, I kind of like it.
Fit. Oh man, this is actually kind of interesting.
This is pretty good, and I keep hoping every week we're going to come across something that's like an example of well done, instead of having to take things apart, right?
Well done, good and faithful servant. Well
done. Welcome.
So there is a problem with the hero image, and that's that it doesn't actually show this guy's like knees and stuff. Like,
well, you want to see
a
like
prosthetic or had robotic surgery or whatever, then like it should show that. But all it does is show two people looking down at something. But unless there's something going on in this knee we don't know, it's not a great opening image. Well, let's watch.
So you think a cast or something would be better?
Yeah, I don't know what
sling.
I don't know what we're supposed to look at.
Wait a minute.
Is that the surgeon? It was on a hike in Hawaii. Just twisted my knee, and the knee swelled up. I'd gone and seen a orthopedic surgeon that wanted to do an arthroscopic, but he said I could go ahead and ski, just stay on blue runs, take it easy, and ski till it hurt. And I hurt it pretty bad on a powder day, so I went and had the arthroscopic procedure. After that surgery, it still hurt a lot. Going to a Walmart and going up and down the aisles, the knee was still in considerable pain. And I was
Walmart will do it to you every time.
Oh man, I'm
Walmart again.
I just don't feel like I should be limited at this point in my life. It's my body, it's my knee. I want to get the best answer for myself. So I went to my primary care doc and said, I think I need a second opinion. This is not going well. My primary care doc had heard about Dr. Stone here up in the city. And so I went to him for a consultation. And I was really happy as I walked into the office to see all these pictures of the ski teams on the wall. I was probably a good candidate for a total knee replacement, which, at 64, I was not ready to hear.
No
I knew
kidding.
that would restrict me quite a bit. And I really wanted to be able to ski everything on the mountain again. That was very important to me to be able to get back to that. And so he talks about, look, the rest of your knee is good. The ligaments were all good. Even the cartilage on the bones, which was where it can be a problem, that they can wear down. But my knee injury was so recent, I hadn't even worn that down. He's like, well, we can do a transplant and you're going to be able to ski everything. You're going to be even able to run again, which I had not anticipated. We went ahead and did that surgery. And I'm now 6 months into it, and I don't even think about the knee on most of my day-to-day activities. I can walk, we can hike.
He's a great example of if there's still reasonably good joint space, why not put the missing cartilage back in no matter what the age of the patient, solve the problem, replace the missing tissue, and hopefully save the patient from ever having to have an artificial joint.
Yeah, my wife is extremely active. And I found myself a lot of times saying, well, why don't you go with your girlfriend? I can't do that. I just felt like I'm the drag. I'm the old guy that can't do it and can't keep up with my wife, who's the same age as me, and I should be able to go. And now I'm like, I can go,
You go.
You go, girl. Ski Walmart.
That's right. Probably should try
I like the
that.
video.
Yeah, I like the video too.
Oh, it's a commercial for that particular product.
BioKnee.
I got it. BioKnee, yeah.
He
Okay,
wasn't
so
a $1 million man, but
that worked. I could only find really 2 points around that, and one of them is sort of squishy. One of them is if you're going to go so close when the doctor comes on, right? And we talked about this with the lawyers, in Southern California from a few weeks ago, where like they literally never looked at the camera; they were looking at this at the interviewer, and it is kind of an interview technique, and it's quote unquote professional, but they're selling to individuals.
Yeah,
and so the doctor was almost direct to camera, looking into the camera. So clearly, the interviewer was like right next to the camera. Right.
Yeah.
That's why he was off by like 15 degrees or so. But it was so close. But I mean, that's a pretty small point. And also the doctor does seem kind of, he seems warm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Seems approachable. They did really well on that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of the stuff that like we reiterate over and over was present in this. Now, granted, I don't know how long they had to talk to that guy to get the cuts that they needed, so that it looked like it was well scripted and well put together. They probably had him talking for an hour, and they pulled out
easily
90 seconds of stuff, which is fine, right? That's how it works. But so let's talk about a few of the things that work. Negative present, positive future. They're very big on that, right? Mm-hmm. They're very big on what's that saying, right? One of the questions that we take people through for creating their messaging is why aren't they already in the positive future? And it's never their fault. Mm-hmm. No matter what the reason is, it's never their fault. Mm-hmm. Right? So, I mean, I work mostly in tech. So, for instance, in tech, it's like basically you couldn't have solved this problem before in a way that made sense because either it didn't exist or it was never cost effective until now, or no one had taken the approach that we took in order to like make it so well suited to you or something like that. It's never their fault, right? Mm-hmm. And in this guy's case, it was not like his fault. Mm-hmm. And the version that they did of that is most of everything in your knee is already fine.
Right.
So we just need to do like a little thing, a relatively small thing, as opposed to a total knee replacement, right?
Right.
And then right off the bat, and this is sort of the brilliance of it, is we've talked about how there's, just sort of everybody, and then there's the people who pick a niche, and then there's the halo niche. Right. And this guy's positioned his clinic as the halo niche. Like, this is the guy you go to. If you're lucky, you go to him first. But if you're not, you go to him after another competitor has failed you in some way.
Yes.
That's great. Also justifies higher prices.
Or offered you an unpalatable solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the website goes, I would have had, like I said, I do not like this image.
Yeah.
Basically because it just has two people looking down at some guy's hairy knee, which is fine, but does not actually like show a positive future. Maybe they're smiling because he's looked at it and says your knee is like pretty much effed up, but I think I can help you save some functionality, which is
Or
not what
maybe
we're
you
looking
said your
for.
knee is
I don't
great
know.
now after we fix it.
And also the video is so good.
Yeah.
So good that
Yeah.
to not have a thumbnail of it, to
I
encourage
think
people to click into it is a crime.
that is true.
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
Hmm.
I agree. I actually don't think they did that many takes with the doctor to get that out of him.
Well, you
Oh,
mean
not
the-
out of
I
the
mean the
doctor,
patient.
but out of the patient.
Oh, out of the patient.
Yeah, out of the
Yeah.
patient. He basically like told his story, and he probably told it with a lot of details that weren't relevant, and backstory and tone and stuff that they needed to like have him repeat or cut out or whatever.
Probably, yeah, probably.
Now, what's the purpose of a homepage, right? It basically has two purposes. Purpose B is that you've been there before, or you kind of know what you're doing, and so
Yeah.
it directs you to the place you should go. Like, this stuff is great. I am not diagnosed. I am diagnosed. I'm interested in surgery. I'm interested in a program for rehab or
Mhm.
physio. It's not rehab, it's physio.
Where do I fit in?
Right. And of course that just takes you to a new place, right?
Yep.
That would apply to you. And then the other part, the job of a home site is to let you know that you're in the right place at the right time.
So if you click,
A safe
if you
choice.
click one of those, is it a quiz funnel or is it a?
So I am not diagnosed yet. And then it starts
It's-
breaking down like what's
a
your
quiz
problem,
funnel.
right?
What's your thing?
Nice.
Yeah, it is a quiz. It's
a quiz funnel.
And
Yeah.
bruising.
So that's even more
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty sophisticated in my opinion.
sophisticated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there you go, right? And then
Nice.
there's a
Drill
video
down.
about it and the whole work and what they do. This is
Yeah.
great. Like, they do a good job of sort of, turning back to the doctor once
Yeah.
the initial stuff is done.
Yep.
And
This is what this means. Oh, and they get a little
I mean,
video.
this website is just very, very well done. There's not much that I would change on this one, which is such a
No.
strange, like, that's kind of great.
We're so used to bad sites.
I
We're
know.
so used to like major, on the TV show MASH, right? I remember watching it when I was a kid, and sort
Or
of like
triage.
Yeah, well, not they used to call it meatball surgery. Basically, it's just like get in there and do like enough to get them to the next hospital, and they'll still be alive when they get there. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what we end up doing is meatball surgery. A lot of this stuff, just make it good enough so that it no longer is terrible.
The only thing I think I would have done differently at the top of this, it's got two buttons, one for book a consult,
Yeah,
and then one for
And the
to
telephone.
call. And typically, you're not going to just unless he's got a scheduling calendar.
I would do one
well,
or
no,
the
what
other.
he's
but
got
not
is
two.
underneath here is if you book a consult if you already live in the Bay Area.
Ah,
Okay.
It could probably be a little darker, and then it's phones for everybody else,
okay, I got it.
which is fine. Not
I
everybody
get it.
not everybody serves everybody. I mean, he does probably have a national practice in a sense, but from
Yeah.
one location in
extent,
the Bay
yeah.
Area.
Yeah, I would say
I'd fly up to San Francisco for a consult with this guy based on the website alone.
Yeah,
sure.
right. And he's got a book
Book is good. Play
all about
forever.
the play forever, a positive future, basically, right?
Is that not appealing or what?
Yeah. He's got his TED Talk. He's got
Yeah.
articles
Lubricated
about
the Tin Man.
light leak topics. This is
Is
just
his first
really,
name Ted?
really well done. The
Ted
color
Stone.
scheme, by the way, is it's sort of IBM blue,
Yeah.
Soothing. Trustworthy.
trustworthy. No one ever got fired for buying IBM, right? The ultimate.
Well,
safety.
no, they did. They did, but not for the first several decades.
Yeah, you had decades and decades of safety there. Yeah,
Yes, it was
Yeah.
the safe choice. Yeah. So safe color is blue. So
For many
I would have
years.
made this bigger. There's no reason for. I mean, I granted
Yeah.
a little more words, but it should be the same size as this, and this is a perfect
Yes.
size.
yeah.
Yeah, that is perfect size.
My eyes shouldn't feel like they're climbing up a hill to get to the cart from here. But they do.
Right. But aside from that, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is very well done. I mean, does it say which company did it? Let me see if I can-
Gotta
Okay,
go for it.
YouTube,
No.
Instagram, and Facebook. Okay.
Legal.
Yeah, and he's got YouTube videos. All of his videos tend to be YouTube videos, it looks like.
Yeah.
They're up
Yeah.
here on the header, and they're also at the bottom.
What's his domain name? Oh, wait a minute.
He's on Instagram and Facebook too. Yeah.
Oh, it is Stone Clinic. That's great.
Stone
Sure.
Clinic.
Memorable.
Very.
Yeah, he's done some really good stuff, or given direction, or hired the right people.
Yeah, this is well done. Like,
Mhm.
I don't, like I said, there's not a lot to recommend
And
here.
well done
Zero
is
image,
well done is
definitely
rare.
highlight the video.
Extremely.
Change the sizing here.
Very
That's
little
about
that's well done these days.
For mine, rare.
It is very rare for us to
Yeah.
come up with something.
I'm just checking out his Instagram, even though it's not social.
Yeah. What do you have
Times.
for choices at the bottom?
456 posts, 827 followers. I'm really surprised.
Our program:
guess.
orthopedic surgery, robotic joint center,
Hmm.
meniscus transplant center, stone for physical therapy. Oh, interesting. So here's another doctor who has everything down from the surgery to the physical therapy.
Dr. Stone is a skier himself. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Mm,
On
Sure.
Instagram, you can see him on the slopes. That's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
Book of Faces. I'm just really curious now what his Facebook thing is. He's got 29 reviews, 4.9.
He's water skiing. He's
Pretty good.
snow skiing.
He's got 2,800 people.
Is that him
following
pole
him.
vaulting over there?
Pole vaulting.
Somebody's
Yeah.
pole vaulting. No, that's not him.
So yeah, overall, like, well done, Dr. Stone.
Yeah,
And
Dr.
Dr. Stone's
Stone.
marketer.
Everybody must get stoned.
Yeah. But the video is so good, it's really a crime to like
Yeah.
not highlight it.
Well, he features his book on the Facebook page in the banner, which is really interesting. And that's
Mhm.
very appealing. Also in multiple shades of blue and white and
Yeah.
whatever gray.
Yeah, and the book cover even, maintains the same color scheme. It's
Yeah.
great.
Books, good sales tool.
Yep.
Dr. Stone, you are our winner for this month.
Dr.
The winner
Stone's
for the
TED
year
Talk.
so far.
Hey,
So what
what's
else should we look
Diamond.
at?
What's
You're a
Dr.
diamond
Stone's
in a-
TED Talk?
What about
say?
Salem Clinic?
Salem, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Is that Massachusetts?
or New Hampshire or Salem where?
Oh, this is not good.
Oregon?
Salem, North
There's
Carolina.
Triple already.
Belong. COVID testing is available.
Well, let's see.
2021.
Oregon, yeah.
Not
West
Salem,
Coast.
Oregon.
So they're both West
It is.
Coast.
This one does need work.
A lot.
Yeah, like what am
Did
I
they
buying?
cut off his head? The doctor? Doctor has
Yeah,
no
we
head.
cut off his head. We covered his face with a warning.
With a warning. Okay.
Please don't come here.
Don't come to the Salem Clinic. It's interesting they got a .org too, so I guess they couldn't get the .com.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
And
Like,
why is it that
Why would you want
everybody-
to belong to a clinic for the rest of your
Belong
life?
for life.
Yeah, and why have a big thing of pill jars with COVID-19 all over 'em?
Why is COVID the main thing? Are they just a COVID clinic? Or
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
something's really
Well,
wrong?
lots of awards and stuff, but like it doesn't actually like tell me what's happening here.
What
Like,
do they
Yeah.
specialize in?
COVID.
They specialize in COVID.
You would think by looking at this, what they specialize
It
in.
looks like it. Schedule COVID. Whoa.
Founded
History.
in 1925.
Oh, this explains a lot.
They're still
Yeah.
back in 1925. but
They're
it looks like
still-
they're marketing.
If
Yeah.
you were to bring the internet to a doctor in 1925, this is the website you would
This
Yeah.
read.
might be
Well,
what-
We've never gone through the strategy template.
Yeah.
Ever,
yeah.
in these videos, but there's a section of the strategy template that we walk through
Mm.
that talks about sources of advantage, and
Mhm.
one of them is there's two sections that would be relevant to this. One is that there's three different types of inertia,
Mhm.
right? And I won't bother to say what like their snazzy names are. I'll just say what they actually are. One is that you have a corporate culture where this is the way things are done around here, and you can't break out of it.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So that's not a source of advantage. Basically, if you're a competitor, if your opponent has that kind of culture, then you have an opportunity to disrupt.
Right.
There's inertia. Second inertia is where you might be. There. How about I put this? A company might be willing to innovate, but its customers are not.
Right.
Okay. You find this in banking a lot, for instance, and insurance.
Right.
Where people just like to have insurance in a box in their head, and so they don't like new types of insurance companies. They don't like banks.
Don't make
You
me
know,
change.
what innovation happened on the consumer side of insurance other than websites in the last 25 years, right? It's not much.
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Right.
app banking, in-app banking.
Yeah. So I mean, to compete against
more
Salem Clinic,
innovation than you
even if
think.
they are
that-
nonprofit, it might be because of org, right? But
Yeah.
basically, this is an organization that from the front page of their website and this one really looks like a company that's sort of captured by its own culture now.
Mhm.
Yes.
Strong culture is great, right? But captured by your culture is not if it stops you from improving or innovating. I don't know anything about this
They're
clinic,
trapped.
so maybe all I have to go on is their website. But
Yeah.
and then one of the other things you look at is does a competitor have to do they have a legacy obligation that you don't have? So basically, they have to support customers who are on old systems. They have to operate in a certain way? Blah blah blah. It's kind of like it's not exactly inertia by proxy, but basically they're stuck spending money and time and resources supporting something that you, if you're new, you can skip over altogether,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, there's all kinds of stuff like that. Like, how many versions of Windows are actively supported at one time? Probably go back 8 or 9 years. Still get
Mhm.
security updates. Whereas if you were starting brand new, like you wouldn't have to do any of that, not for a while, because all your customers would be new to you and you're new to them, kind of
Right.
stuff.
Right.
So it's possible here, just judging by, I'm sure they had a lot of input into what their website looked like, or someone did.
Yeah.
And there's nothing here that is talking to the reader.
I will tell you, their Facebook page is horrendous. Only insofar as they posted once last time, April 8th, then March 29th. And so in other words, they post once or twice a month. And then prior to, this is just the recency, March 4th. And then you jump all the way to September 30th, 2021.
Wow.
So this page is dead, in my opinion.
Yeah. And there's
And
nothing here.
this
that
testimonials page
tells you what
is
they
just
do.
a wall of text.
Yeah.
Right.
In tiny, tiny font.
And and when you look at the main page, nothing immediately
Like,
tells you
why
what
am
they
I
do
here?
except COVID-19.
It's all for COVID.
That's what
The funny thing is, they've
you would
got some
think.
nice pictures. They've got nice pictures of staff. On the Facebook page, but they don't post much of anything.
Yeah.
Like they bring some guy, some fellow in
They're
here.
big though. They've got multiple locations in Salem, Oregon.
Yeah.
But they're not very social, and they're not. See, one of
They're
the
not
things that
highly
we always,
rated either.
I think what you mean is they're not approachable.
one of the things that we talk about a lot is by putting out a lot of educational content,
Yeah.
so people feel smarter just being associated with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And the ratings don't look all that super stellar that you were just looking at.
Yeah, the ratings are.
You're all like 3, 2.5.
Yeah, it's not what I would. It's not ideal. Let's call
It's
it.
not. It's not pretty.
They get awards for their service. So I just think it's their. You're right about. They're not very approachable.
Yeah.
And they just send out announcements periodically about we're doing this clinic, we're doing this, we're doing HPV, we're the best, we're the best. Look at us, we're the best.
Do you have COVID?
There's COVID everywhere on that Facebook page.
No, it seems like that's their only concern.
Yeah, I just, the thing about getting the guy's head cut off just really bothers me to no end. It's like we're the decapitation COVID clinic.
Now,
Well,
look at this
Actually,
one.
it would be
Very
better if
different
it was
feel,
cut
right?
off. Yeah. I think it would be
Right.
better if it was cut off than have a big warning sign over his face.
Yeah, this is so different.
Yeah, this is.
This is right to the point. Of course, it's a typo here. They should
Yeah.
have had a comma and
Yeah.
whatever. But It's exactly
Yeah.
what someone might be looking for.
Yep.
Yep.
Like the answer is right up front, and it says exactly who they are and what they do, or at least what they do
And
they
where
do.
they are. Yeah, sure.
See, it's always this thing about, intention searches versus social media.
Yeah.
I mean, in social media, you really need to be strict, pretty much social, establish conversations. It
Hmm.
can't be a one-way street.
Right.
Right, and here COVID makes sense, and it's not we're
Yeah.
understaffed because of COVID. It's like, hey, you need a shot or a
You need
test.
tests.
Yeah.
Come on
I'm here
down.
for you. Yep.
Come on down.
Come
Right,
on
so
down to
it's
Shot Seats
simpler,
Clinic.
it's smaller, it's leaner, and yet
Yeah.
it's so much. It does less, but does better
Yes.
than the Salem Clinic one.
What is this one called again? I want to see what the
This is
mobile.
GuadalupeClinic.org
Guadalupe.
in Wichita, Kansas. It's
Oh,
basically-
Guadalupe. Okay.
It's from the Catholic Diocese of Wichita. So
Oh, there you go.
probably a nonprofit, right?
They know their audience.
No, probably. But still.
And granted, this guy isn't like happy, but no one
No.
would be happy with something getting shoved into their ear anyway. So that's totally fine.
Yeah. Hey, whoa, what are you shoving
But
in?
he does have this, like, I'm kind of glad I'm getting treated for this.
I think.
I think
Like,
I'm
not in a
glad I
great
got
place, and I
treated.
hope it's about to get better.
I'm not totally sure, but I think I'm going to be. I'm
So,
at least
I mean, how
tolerant.
much better? So Stone Clinic, amazing. Just a couple of
Amazing.
small points, but amazing, super, super job.
Yes.
SalemClinic.org. I don't understand what you're doing.
I have no clue.
See, so when you look at the
And then
mobile,
Guadalupe
it's very,
Clinic, right down the middle. Excellent.
mobile
Yeah.
is very interesting because it just features the logo
Oh, the
as you're scrolling through. You don't actually get that image or
Guadalupe.
any sort of an image till far later, and the majority of people are going to be looking at this on mobile.
Right. Yeah,
So
generally.
it's
This is a
funny.
graphic,
It's
by the way.
it is different. It is leaner and different on mobile than it is on the desktop version.
What
Very
is Guadalupe or
Yeah, Guadalupe. I'm looking
Yeah.
at Guadalupe because the very first image that you see on Guadalupe is the logo, and
Yeah.
but with the thing of no insurance, no worries. You
I
don't
can't
get the
fix
picture.
the headline because it's built into the graphic, but yeah.
Yeah.
Other than
Actually,
fixing the headline, and it's a small thing.
And then you just get a few. You get a few of those images that you see down below, but you're scrolling through them. So
Yeah. So I didn't really
Yeah,
have
right.
anything to write or do today.
yeah.
no, this one's good.
No,
That's a first.
yeah,
Well, no, you
The one that was
you could
bad
have
was
done a lot with the
so
Salem
bad there was
Clinic.
nothing to be done. There's nothing to fix. I didn't have anything fixable.
Fixable. 'Cause
No.
was it so difficult that it couldn't be fixed with the Salem Clinic?
Yeah.
You,
I mean, they didn't even have any text to work with.
you can't give a guy
What am I
a
gonna do,
head.
rewrite their COVID warning?
How are you going to give a guy a head?
I just still think the most disturbing thing about that one was the decapitation of the doctor, because as a doctor, that really bothers me.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But it's
So,
pretty
I
interesting,
mean,
though.
That's.
Come on over. Just
I
don't
mean,
lose
for
your head.
me, this was the easiest website Wednesday ever.
And so it makes it your favorite website Wednesday.
And actually, what makes it my favorite is how good Stone Clinic was. It's
Yeah.
so great to see something like thought out.
Yeah, that was very
Right.
well
I think
thought
it's a
out.
great example to model too. If you had a clinic of some sort, just even
Yeah.
in terms of even layout and the simplicity, and and just change the header image, the above the fold thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
highlight your video, and you're great.
Yeah, I think highlighting the video is a great idea too, because that thing was just it. How did you even get there? You just
It's a
One of
link, but that's
scrolling down
all
the
it
video with
is.
a link. Yeah.
And
No,
actually,
I think the
having
thumbnail of that would have been the best.
the images.
Also, the
don't-
headline or the lead in, this is not. It does not go into a lot about how they achieve their outcomes.
Yeah.
No.
So it's sort of clickbaity there. It's not really. And here's the thing: they'd be better off with a different headline anyway, like a different link text.
Quick question: would you have taken a thumbnail like in the rehab where the guy's going back and forth in the ski, and made that an image to show that he's being rehabilitated, as opposed to like a cast or something static?
No, I would have taken the absolute happiest looking thing in that happiest
Okay.
looking frame, and I would have pasted it.
Got it.
The main image is starting to grow on me.
Like moss.
No, I mean the more I look at it, it's not the best image, but the more I look at it, the more it makes more sense to me. The more I look at it.
What about when they have the staff, like the entire staff on there? Is that disturbing or is that helpful?
I don't see how.
Yes,
To me, it's just a net neutral. I mean, I
Okay.
don't know any of these people. The
Yeah.
fact that he has people working at the clinic, well, I wouldn't people work there besides him?
Somebody works there. It's not totally robotic.
No.
There's going to be at least a nurse and a receptionist, and then
Yeah.
more people like that. So
Yeah.
I've never really thought about it. I mean, I guess you're trying to say like there's a whole team to support you, but they almost never say it that way.
No, but when we do local marketing strategies for doctors, a lot of times we'll want to have the entire team with their friendly faces looking at you, straight at you, the viewer.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
So I mean, I don't know what would I grab here from.
so you have a comfort
If I can
level.
scrub really quickly and find something that's kind of great.
Scrubs, I love that show too.
Maybe something like that. Back a little bit there was pretty.
I kind of like the one where he's like sliding back and forth with the ski poles, but that's
Yeah, that was
that looked
pretty good.
very active to me. I found that very appealing as a skier
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, that wasn't bad either.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the best one.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But get him active where he's like in mid stance or something like that.
Well, you could just take 3 or 4 seconds of it, turn it into a GIF, and just have it loop.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And you could have that thing just rotating there instead of a static
And then
image.
I would have also taken the from a different part of the video, but near this is where he talks about how he wants to keep up with his wife, and they're the same age.
And they're the same age.
That's what I would have had as a quote.
That's the best.
Thumbnail
That is
image.
the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the video is so well done. Like hiding it like this is.
Yeah,
so
I would feature the video. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, all right. That's our half an hour. Can't
Cool.
believe I didn't get to write anything this time. It's so
It's
be
all
it.
right. Save
That's
your
all right.
writing for next week.
Yeah. Writing for next week. All right. So that's it. Tomorrow's Thursday. Day 3 of
What are we
3.
doing
Yeah.
Thursday? Something.
Something. All right.
Good.